With the pump, havoc, and tac all being vaulted for some time now, we have to make the decision between the hammer pump, the frenzy auto shotgun, and Fortnite's newest addition, the Gatekeeper shotgun. The Gatekeeper is most comparable to the tac shotgun, or more recently, a Maven. Compared to the frenzy auto shotgun, this shotgun deals a little more damage at the cost of taking a little longer between each shot. Comparing it to the shotguns in game statistically, the hammer pump does 94 damage, the frenzy auto does 68, while the Gatekeeper does 84, which is between the two. As you might have expected, the higher the damage for each of these weapons, the slower their fire rate is to balance them out, with the hammer pump having a fire rate of 0.7, meaning you have to wait over a second between shots, the frenzy auto at 2.5, meaning you can shoot almost 3 times per second, and in the middle, again, you have the Gatekeeper at 1.7, which means you can shoot a little less than twice per second. If you didn't know, DPS stands for damage per second, and it's calculated by dividing the amount of damage it does by the amount of time it took to deal that damage. Because of their quicker fire rates, Frenzy Auto and Gatekeeper shotguns put up more damage despite weaker individual shots. This by no means makes them an objectively better shotgun, but it does speak volumes for the way you have to play to cater to each of the shotguns. Since the pump can only shoot once every second, it means you have to make that shot count, and you can almost never get 2 shots off in a box. As for the auto shotgun, it's almost the exact opposite. The high fire rate means you want to get into the box to abuse the fact that you can get so many shots off. And then finally, the Gatekeeper, as I said earlier, is kind of like the middle ground between the two. It allows you to play peaks with the pump, but it also doesn't inhibit you when you try to get 2 shots off in a box. For the first time in a very long time, it almost feels as if all the shotguns are similarly balanced, and instead of one shotgun being better than all the rest, each shotgun caters to a different playstyle, as well as different situations. The first distinction I have is between keyboard and controller players. For most keyboard players, mechanics are the strong part of their gameplay, meaning piece control, good peaks, and avoiding 50-50s. The hammer pump fits this playstyle best, allowing for quick, high damage shots and a speedy reset. The Gatekeepers, especially at high rarity with the drum mag attachment, can serve this purpose as well, although you won't do as much damage, but it allows you to be more potent at those higher risk aim duel type situations. For controller players on the other hand, getting the jump on your opponent with a high DPS weapon like the Frenzy Auto and using aim assist to your advantage is an effective way to secure eliminations. The Gatekeeper shotgun is very good in those situations as well, but make sure to have it fully reloaded before jumping in, because it only shoots 3 or 5 with the drum mag at a time, meaning once you're in the box, there won't be time to reload. You also shouldn't be using the Gatekeeper to replace walls because of that. Another distinction we have to make is between higher ping players or laggy lobbies versus ranked or lower ping players. In stacked tournament games, where games are really laggy, the game usually simplifies greatly. Instead of people going for crazy edit courses and piece control, generally people stay very basic since even the basics are hard to perform under such circumstances. With so many players staying alive, it gets very hard to peek properly or get quick shots off on your opponents without counter damage. So high fire rate shotguns become the meta. In my opinion, the Frenzy Auto is, like last season, the best shotgun for these situations, especially with the drum mag attachment boosting the clip to 12 shots instead of 8, especially when you get in the same box as your opponent endgame. Lag and low FPS can make it extremely hard to line up a good pump, which makes the auto a lot more forgiving since if you miss the shot, you have 11 more ready to fire in quick succession. The Gatekeeper can also serve a similar purpose, but its limited clip size makes it a lot less versatile. Either way, getting in someone's face becomes the easiest way to get eliminations, and higher DPS shotguns are the best way to do that. In unstacked games like ranked or creative, or for lower ping players in general, pumps tend to be the strongest because going for fast shots and mechanics are much easier to pull off in these settings. This doesn't make the Gatekeeper or auto any less powerful, but it does make the pump better. Concluding the shotgun debate, I think this season is very unlike other seasons because in contrast to them, there's no best shotgun. Instead, it's important to make distinction between the shotguns and figure out your own strengths and weaknesses or what kind of game you're in to figure out which shotgun caters to your playstyle the best so you can prioritize it when looting. And then really quick, I wanted to go through some of the other weapons you might have to make a choice between. The loot pool for secondary weapons is much wider and there's much more room for preference. The first weapon I want to go over is the DMR. The DMR is practically useless in all settings other than competitive. Since there's no more hit scan weapons, a high damage weapon like the DMR is the best way to accumulate damage for Storm Surge, especially if you have tons of ammo for it, unlike a sniper. There are currently 2 SMGs in the game, and while the Harbinger SMG isn't bad, it is worse than the Burst SMG, so most of the time you want to take the Burst SMG unless the rarity of the Harbinger is 2 to 3 tiers higher. Snipers are super viable because they provide good surge damage, can assist in rotates if you use them to stop teams that are holding you from peeking, and give really good refresh opportunities. And then finally, between the 2 ARs, the Nemesis and the Warforged, that one is really up to preference. Both are good. I'd say the Nemesis is a little better ranged and the Warforged is a little better in box. Hopefully this helps you guys choose what you want to carry this season. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Use code dollafn. No long outros. Bye.